Very good evening. Welcome to the last race of the season here at Tier 2. Probably the last race in F122 as well. Today I am joined with SSJ Assassin in the comms box and myself, No More Pro Player, who will be showing you around the track of the Americas, that is USA. So, SSJ, any expectations? What are your thoughts of today's race?
Well, it won't be like any of the tier 2 races that we've had so far because of the low turnout for today's race. But otherwise, I think most drivers will have a tough time with track limits. Since from yesterday's tier 3 race itself, we could summarize that like people are getting 6 seconds and 20 seconds penalties too. So drive the I think the drivers who stay clear of the penalties will be finishing higher up
Yeah,
in the final results.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of penalties, I just got reminded of the season when Casey was driving. He did get disqualified in Tier 1 because of having too many penalties. So that is also a prospect in today's race, and definitely an exciting and interesting season finale that we have today to watch. But let's not delay more further and let's have a look at the track layout. So we are at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Total 20 turns with 5.5 kilometer length, two DRS zones. Probably the back straight being the one place where most of the drivers will have an overtake, and we will have a look at a hot lap and we will get more idea of what this track has to give to us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board a lap here in Austin, Texas, in the Circuit of the Americas. Now, on board with the Alpine of Blizzard King, you want to be on the right-hand side for turn 1. Uphill braking, so you can brake later than you think. Use the black box on the right for reference. Take a late apex here, balance the curve with throttle on the exit, and make sure you get a clean run onto this downhill section here. The turns 2, 3, 4, and 5, all very reminiscent of the Suzuka SS without the elevation change, of course. But you want to be balancing the curve with throttle, swinging from apex to apex, keeping the minimum speed high. For turns 6, 7, and 8, very technical, take a late apex here, get a slingshot exit into this downhill section, and make sure you keep it within the track limits. Very easy to go run wide there. For turn 11, you want to brake just at the 75-meter mark, take a late apex again, and make sure you get a good exit again as you head onto this very long back straight here. Watch out for the DRS board on the right hand side to activate it and get those few extra Ks you will need for overtaking here. Now preparing for turn 12, avoiding the curb this year as the ground effect will kick in and well, you will bottom out there. Make sure you get a good exit here for turns 13, 14, 15, very technical, very less braking involved as you're just rotating the car with the brakes and steering as well, and make sure the balance of the car is not disrupted too much here as you will lose a lot of time. With the triple apex right hand corner, you want to be taking a tighter line here, minimizing the distance travel to the next corner. For this corner here, swing it in. Make sure you compromise on your exit to carry more minimum speed. Same for the last corner, if the line is very close, carry more speed than you think. And get a good, decent exit as well, though, for if you're on a race run. And yeah, that's a lap of Austin, Texas. And yeah.
And that was a brilliant lap by our very own Eitzel, who has decided to change his name to Lizard King in this hot lap. And even I was confused on who that hot lap was from. But definitely you could have seen in that hot lap that we had to be very precise on this track going through the SS, because that's the time where that's the place where everyone loses or gains whatever time is there. There has been a small switch in the comms box. SSJ has dropped off to take some rest because he was the streamer yesterday as well, and I am joined by Vicious, who will be co-commentating with me today in the comms box. This is probably his first time when he will be commentating with me, so it is gonna be a fun ride. What do you think, Vicious, about this race?
Yeah, it will definitely be a fun ride. I'll try my best, and just excuse me if I make some mistakes here and there.
That's fine. That's a process of learning that we go through, and obviously we are all here to have fun, and Tier 2 has delivered on the fun till now. So without further delay, let's just hop into the game and let's see what our boys are doing at the moment. just a second. Yeah, there is the game. We are already in qualifying as of now. Let's have some look at the weather graphics as well. Yeah, just a second. So there you go. We have the weather forecast. It is gonna be a dry quali as well as a dry race. No wet action today in Austin, Texas. But nevertheless, anyways, it's sort of like a desert. So we expected less chance of rain. Let's have a look at the driver and the constructor standings that we have. So we do think that right now there is not much of a battle that we have in hand today because a lot of drivers have decided not to join today's race, but we will definitely be having some exciting standings battles. We do have FIFA Kanak and Dark Knight who are racing today. Both are separated by only around 28 points there, and that's what we will be looking out for in today's race. But yeah.
Dipanshu, sorry to interrupt you. We are seeing a black screen. If you could just
Fixed now.
Yeah,
did you-
that's fine. I was keeping it on purpose, but anyways, we can have this also on the screen. But yeah, that's what our driver standings looks like right now. People are on their out lap as of now, so we do have a look at their driver standings. We do have the constructor standings as well. Red Bull solely carried by Dark Knight with 402 points, Aston Martin with 330. So I don't think there will be any constructor battle. Constructor championship is sealed, and much as like real life, even here we have Red Bull domination that we get to see. So as people are going out on the track, we do have only 11 drivers for the season finale, unfortunately, because most of the drivers have moved on to F1 23. So Vicious, what do you think? We do have Dark Knight and FIFA Kanak both racing today, and the only way I see FIFA Kanak taking the driver championship is if Dark Knight wins it and goes out of the race, because I think there is a point difference of 28 points between them.
Yep, I don't think Dark Knight will be taking any chances for this race. He'll just be having a chill drive
Definitely.
because 28 points is a huge gap. So he just wants to finish the race, and even if FIFA Canucks wins the race, I guess. No. How much point will he get if he finishes at the last, like P15 or P14?
I think if you finish P11, I think you get 4 or 5 points. Let me
Yeah,
just
so even that will seal his championship there and there.
correct.
So Dark Knight won't be taking any risk, and even my suggestion will be just get a chill drive and complete the 28 laps of quota,
Yeah, definitely.
which is definitely a pain because this track is very difficult on tires and the temperatures.
Yeah, and as we all know, the infamous S section where everything can go downhill for any driver. One slip of a concentration and you are either losing your rear end of the car or you are invalidating your track. So that's what we have to see if they can tackle the S section.
Yep. And now we are on board with Deepak, who is on his Hotlap, I guess. Can we see the telemetry?
The shortcuts are not working, so I guess I will have to do it the old way. But yeah,
Yep.
there's the telemetry. He is right now
Yep,
on
he's
his
definitely.
yeah. So he's on his hot lap right now. He's going in the final sector, going through the fast right-hander. It is flat in quali, but in race you might have to lift off depending on the tire that you are carrying. Perfectly done in the second corner. Last corner is where you have to take the apex and get on power as quickly, avoiding the sausage bumps on the exit, and he sets in a time of 1:35.146. Right now the fastest time is held by Ink with a 1:34.645, and FIFA Kanak in P3 on the medium tires, just doing some banker laps, getting used to the track with a 1:35.499.
So what do you think, Dipanshu? Who will get the polio? What are your predictions?
In my opinion, FIFA Kanak does stand a chance today to get the pole position in quali. Race, I am not very sure, considering that it's very less number of peoples that are driving today, we might see some not a lot of incidents, especially in the initial laps going through the SS. So I'm expecting it to be a clean race, but you can't say anything till the race is done.
Yep. I'll like to watch a FIFA Kanak versus Dark Knight battle at the start for the championship. That will be fun.
Yeah, definitely, because I am expecting both of them to be up there in the podium as we speak of that. Dark Knight also on his medium tires does a 135.4. So we can see both of them are within 300ths of a second on the medium tires. Let me just get the tire graphics as well. Yeah, there you go. So both of them on the medium tire setting a 135, very close to each other. So it will be an exciting thing to watch what these people can do on the fastest tire that they have, which is the soft tires.
Yep, true. The only thing they'll have to take into consideration are the tire temps, as it is very sunny, and through the SS the tire scrubs a lot. They'll have to keep an eye on the temperatures.
Yeah, definitely they will have to keep an eye on the temperature, and hopefully they would have done some practice and dialed in their setup to avoid the tires going to a very high temperature through the SS. Especially there we see Sai Tarun completely cutting off the first S section and definitely invalidating his lap in the process.
Yep, he's on his in-lap IRC,
Yeah, but
and Tsukuyomi starts his hot lap here.
correct. Let's go on board him and let's go through the lap. Perfect turn 1 going downhill. You have to manage the traction going out of the turn 1, and you have to set your car for the SS. A quick sweep to the left and then the right and then the left with a small downshift, and then it is flat out sort of till here where you brake again and then mount the inside curb. Again you have to brake, go down 2 gears, take the inside of both the curves, and then you are flat out to the, I guess, the slowest corner or maybe the second slowest corner on this track. Sort of like a V curve, completely on the brakes, shift down to second, exit, manage the throttle not to spin out your rear, and then you are back to the DRS straight where we will see most of the action happening, or maybe in the corner leading to this straight where people might go for a dive bomb. But perfectly mounting the curb here on the end of the long straight, going to the final sector, one of the most trickiest sector that we have on the soft tires. It seems like he has set a purple sector in sector 2. That might be a glitch by the game, but we'll keep an eye on his time. Right now he is going through the fast right-hander, which is sort of flat, but I guess Tsukuyomi had some kind of a rear traction loss which forced him to lift up and correct his steering. That would have definitely costed him a lot of time. So as he crosses the line, goes P6 with a 135.5 on the soft tires.
That was a pretty good lap except for the mishap at the fast right-hander.
Yeah, it seems like he is running maybe a low downforce setup, because if you are running pretty much a bit of higher wings, you can go flat out on that corner. So maybe he is looking for the top speed rather than the traction through the corner, and that is costing him a bit of traction on the rear end at that fast right hand. Right now we are on board Sam, who has started his lap going through the SS. Perfectly done. Yeah, that's pretty much the line that you would like to take through the SS. Maybe a bit more close to the apex, just not to invalidate, but as close as possible. You can go to the apex.
Yep, that was almost like a perfect S section I've seen.
Right now it still seems like the Aston Martins are doing really well up there on the top of the timing sheets in P1 and P2 at the moment. Sai Tarun also with a 134.8, but keep in mind Dark Knight and FIFA Kanak have not done their laps on medium tires, so we have yet to see what they can do. And as we say that, FIFA Kanak has crossed the line just now and go on pole position with a 134.128. So that's the time that everyone will be looking to beat. and we do have a lot of drivers who are crossing the line. We might see some times being changed. BK19 starting his first valid lap. Maybe this is the lap that he will be able to complete as he takes turn 1. We do have Axel Sam, who is about to complete his lap, crosses the line, ends up in P7 with a 135.5. We do have Ink and his teammate Sai Tarun, who are Sai Tarun is still in the pits, but Ink is about to complete his lap, rounding up the final corner. Let's see what time he can do and whether he will improve on his time or not. 134.1 was the time to beat. He could only do a 134.4, improvement of 2/10, but not enough to take FIFA Kanak out of the podium position, of the pole position.
Yep, this shows that how good of a lap was set by FIFA Kanak here. That is a pretty solid benchmark of 134.1. It's pretty difficult to beat. Let's see what Dark Knight does on his soft run. Whether he can beat that time. He'll be starting his Hotlap now.
Yes, he has started his hot lap. The time to beat that he is looking for is a 134.1, hard braking, going uphill, touching the apex as much as possible and getting on power as early as possible, entering the SS, trying to go to the left and then suddenly to the right and then again left. Pretty much perfectly done there, trying to get on power as much as possible without losing the rear end, because the car is really loaded throughout this section, and that was pretty decent looking in my opinion. He has improved on his time in the first sector, so let's see whether he can do a purple time, best lap time on the whole track. Right now it doesn't seem like he has done a purple sector 1. That might have gone to FIFA Kanak. He is right now on the back straight with the DRS open. 318 kmph is what he hit as his top speed entering into the final sector. Again, he is 700s behind from FIFA Kanak as he is entering into the third sector. So all the time that he needs to make is in the final sector. Let's see what kind of a setup he has gone for. If he has gone for a more downforce heavy setup, this can be his fastest lap of the session. So let's see, he's about to come to the final corner as he takes the final apex perfectly there. Maybe a bit of too much wide on the exit, and he has set a 134.2. So it seems like FIFA Kanak and Dark Knight are running similar setups in my opinion.
Yep, it does feel like they are running the same setup as he was flat out to the fast right-handers, which can only be done on a high downforce setup.
It seems like Faizan has invalidated his flying lap, so he will be starting his lap again. We do have the Alfa Romeo BK19 who is coming through the final corner. Oh, and as we see that, well, there's the commentator's curse, you might say. We just switched on board him. He was doing pretty well, about to set his first lap time of the session, but last second corner did not do justice to him, and he lost his rear end, and back into the pits he goes.
He even had 2 green sectors, so he was on his way to improve. He might have slotted at like P5 or P6 will be my guess, but that was just unfortunate. And Jose is even coming in the pits. The pit entry is what the drivers will have to keep an eye out for. If you brake too late, you might end up in the wall.
Yeah, definitely. And if you brake too late, either you will end up in the wall or you will get a 5-second penalty. So they have to keep in mind about that as well. And right now we are on board Sager, who is who just now started his hot lap, in fact. Rest everyone seems to be in the pits, changing for a final run of soft tires, as Sager just flicks his steering wheel from left to right to take the SS. Might not be the best strategy to do here, considering you get a lot of tire wear by doing that. You have to be as smooth as possible in the race, but this is quali, so we don't care much about it. And he is about to go for the long back straight with DRS open. Let's see what speed he hits. We did see Dark Knight hitting 318 kmph on this back straight. So this will give us some kind of an idea what kind of setup are these people running. Sager also hits 319.20, so almost similar setup that most of these folks are running. It seems like not a lot of downforce, not a lot of not a lot of downforce that they are running for, just enough to keep them on the track for the fast right-hander. Right now, Sager, as he enters the third sector, he was just 110 down on the time set by FIFA Kanak. So let's see what he can do as he is coming across the last second corner. Perfectly taken there. Last corner is where you can go really wide on the exit, and that compromises you getting on the power. And he does set a fastest time of 134.0, pole position for Sager. He did gain 1/10 there, so that makes me believe that he might be more confident in the final sector, or might be running a bit of a downforce heavy setup.
Yep, true. That was such a clean third sector. He could have gained a lot more if he had cut the corner on the back straight, the left corner. He took the apex there instead of cutting it whole. So I guess he might be on a sub 134 run.
Yeah, maybe, but I think his runs are done, so this is the best time that he will be putting out. We do have Tsukuyomi, who just now crossed the line. Deepak also crosses the line with a 134.6. They will be starting off their lap. Tsukuyomi just did his final run. He might not have time for another run, so Deepak will be starting his hot lap, I guess, or did he just now complete his lap? I'm also not
No,
sure.
he's starting his hot lap as the ERS deploy is on.
Yes, he is starting his hot lap because he has 70% ERS that you can't have if you have done one hot lap already, because this game just drains all your ERS. I miss the days in F120 when we could, set our ERS mode, medium, high, low. So that used to give us way more control on the ERS setting as we are doing our hot lap. We would rather prefer to save some ERS for maybe a second run. But in this game, one run is all you get. After that, you are out of ERS. You might not be able to complete the second run with the ERS that is left in the tank. As Deepak is going through the back straight, all the other people have started their hot lap. Qualifying has ended. So this will be the final time that we will be seeing from our boys here. Sager is still sitting in pole position with a 134.0. Let's see what others have in response to his lap time. We do have Dark Knight, I think, no, that's Tsukuyomi, who is about to cross the line again as he goes into the pits, as I suspected that he did his lap in the previous lap itself. He did his best time as Deepakraj rounds up the final corner a bit squeakly on the exit there, but still manages to get a P4 with a 134.2. We do have the Mercedes of Faizan, who is rounding off the final corner. Let's see what time he can do. He can put on the board as he crosses the line, improves and goes to P3 with a 134.1. Behind him, BK19 again invalidating his lap and not able to set any time whatsoever. The Alpha boys are about to cross the line. Ink already crossed the line, did not improve. Sai Tarun also crosses the line, does not improve on his time. We do have the Ferrari of Axel Sam, who is crossing the, who just now went into the pits actually. But we do, the main person whom we have to watch, Dark Knight, who is about to cross the line, sets a pole position of a 133.9. We do get to break the 134 barrier. And FIFA Kanak in response to him sets an even faster time of a 133.7. So that was what it all came down to. The final few moments which showed us the best times of the session.
That was such a great qualifying by all of them, so close. It was thrilling throughout the session, such close times. And at the end, FIFA Kanak takes the pole from Dark Knight.
Yeah, definitely this battle is not yet over, and as you said, maybe one of your wishes will actually get true. We will see some battle between both of them in the opening lap. So FIFA Kanak with a 133.7 being our pole position sitter. P2 taken by Dark Knight with a 133.9, Sager 134.0, Faizan in P4 with a 134.1, what Deepak with 134.2, Jose Hiro with a 134.3, Ink 134.3 as well, Tsukuyomi 134.7, Sai Tarun 134.7, and P10 Axel Sam 135.5. BK19 unfortunately not able to set a lap time even at the closing stages. That just shows how brutal this track can be with track limits. But yeah, what an eventful qualifying. What do you think?
Yeah, it was definitely an eventful qualifying, and you were right in your prediction that FIFA Kanak will take the pole, and he did take the pole. So I'll ask you again, what are your predictions for the race now?
Well, as a commentator, I would definitely love some kind of battle, and for that battle in Driver Championship to happen, Dark Knight has to fall back. And maybe something like that, if we see Dark Knight falls back in the initial lap and then tries to climb back as he fights for his Drivers Championship, is what I am looking forward to. But in my opinion, I think Dark Knight is still gonna get the race win, and followed by FIFA Kanak and maybe Ink. That's what I'm expecting who to be on the podium. So it will be Dark Knight, FIFA Kanak, and then Ink is my prediction. What about you?
I feel Dark Knight will be taking it way too easy in this race. He won't be risking anything here. He'll just back out from turn one itself and just drive off behind FIFA Kanak for the whole race if he can. Because he can afford losing a couple of places and still win the WTC. So he won't be in for a battle, is my prediction.
That is a valid argument actually. Even if I was in Dark Knight's position, I would just look to finish the race rather than getting in some incident and disqualifying. So let's see what we get to see in the start of the race. As we saw in the weather in the beginning of the stream itself, that it's gonna be a bone dry race, so it's all gonna be normal racing that we have here. No nooks and croonies being thrown out by the weather. No surprises for us. All we will mostly be seeing most of the drivers starting on either hards or mediums, because I don't think anyone will be doing the softs. I think softs can only last maybe 7 laps or 8 laps on this track. So most of them, especially the front runners, will be starting on the hards. Considering that less drivers are there today racing with us, there is a less probability of incidents happening, and that in turn implies that less chance of a safety car. So people will not be banking on the fact that today they might see a safety car, but who knows? It's a race after all, and especially the middle pack can show us some exciting battle today.
Yep. We want to see some exciting battle, but no safety cars, please. Yeah.
Well,
Getting a safety car in a 11 people race is not a good thing.
well, safety car does make it exciting, bunching up the field, because I am worried that maybe Dark Knight and FIFA Kanak will just fly off and then rest of the pack will be left behind, and it might become a boring race for us to commentate. But nevertheless, we do have an exciting thing at the end of the race, in which we will be doing a final parade lap with donut session with the race winners and the podium standing. So that we will be doing after this race, so stay tuned even after the race is over. As we are done with the countdown, drivers have done their strategy change according to the game. Medium hards is the strategy to go. FIFA Connect starting in P1, 5 lights is what we have, and away we go. We do see most of the drivers starting with the medium tires. It does seem like Dark Knight got a very bad start, and already Faizan is on his inside, and Dark Knight will have to concede the position there just to avoid any incidents, but very fairly clean at the back as well. No one taking any risks as of now. Dark Knight has dropped back to P4 because of the bad start that he got, and as you told, I think he is taking it cautiously there, not to get into any incidents whatsoever, as everyone takes the S's in a single file, trying not to make any stupid moves. For that matter, Sager getting very, very throttle happy behind Tsukuyomi. So we do have a lot of position changes. We do see Faizan gain 2 positions. We do have Ink, who is trying to go around the outside of Sager there. Mostly he was not able to get the position because it's a long way around. Sager in has dropped 3 positions as well. We do have BK19, who gained a lot of positions, but right now, just outbraked himself, almost clipped the rear end of Ink there, and maybe that could have ended both their races. But right now, BK19 and Jose Hero both are going side by side into the final sector as they come across the last 3rd or 4th corner. BK19 gets a much better traction on the exit there. Jose Hero got compromised, lost his rear end, and is out of the battle for now.
those softs are really helping BK19 make the move.
Yeah, definitely.
Those softs, they have some really great traction, and even with the full fuel load, he was able to stick to the move. That was pretty good from BK19 there. And I guess Joseph shouldn't battle with BK19 and just stick behind him and make him drag to the front pack. That will be much. That will be a much better strategy from Jose.
Yeah, definitely your analysis is actually correct because in the initial 5-6 laps you will get the soft tires will have the advantage, and Jose Hero can capitalize on that advantage and stick to him. But right now Dark Knight is stuck behind Deepak. We already know Deepak can be a very tough car to overtake, and Deepak is on the hard tires. So Dark Knight is not liking the time that he is losing up to the front pack of FIFA Kanak and Faizan because he is battling with Deepak here. We do have a position change up back where BK19 on the soft tires has overtaken Ink, but Ink is looking down for the inside line as well. So will he send it? I think he decides to keep it back if possible. Oh, we do have an incident there. I did see Jose Hero for a moment on the right side, so maybe Jose Hero clipped the rear of BK19, which sent BK19 into Ink. So that's something that might have happened there. Can't confirm that, but we already know BK19 does not have any front wings left in his name, so he will have to wait. So does Ink. Ink also has lost a front right end plate.
Yep, it could have been Jose, or it could have been he took a lot of curb there on the exit and might have been a lot earlier on the throttle, which could have resulted in the spin.
Yeah,
but we won't know until the reports are out.
yeah, definitely. We shouldn't conclude anything, but yeah, that is also a plausible explanation. But luckily, no safety car out. Still, Dark Knight is stuck behind Deepak right now. Faizan has already racked up 3 seconds penalty in the initial 2 laps itself. Maybe he's pushing, he's trying to keep up with FIFA Kanak and pull up a gap between Deepak and himself. Right now, Deepak is being the cock in the bottle, as some might say. He is holding up the pack behind him, everyone pretty much close to each other, as Sai Tarun also picks up a 3-second penalty. We are already only 3 laps in the race and already people are racking up penalties.
Yeah, this shows that how hard this track is on the track limits. Even though the drivers are on their edge, they can't make a single mistake. As even through the S's, you'll get 3 warnings back to back, and then that will be a 3-second penalty altogether. And the same thing happens with Deepak. He goes 2 on the curb and makes the throttle too early.
Yeah, I think the sausage curve is what is throwing them out, as Sager is spun around by someone behind him. Just clipped his rear, and Sager just spun around in that corner. There were a lot of cars there bunched up together, and I'm not sure who caused the incident, but it was one of either Jose Hero or either Axel Sam or BK19 or Jose Hero that were involved in that incident. But nevertheless, no damage done, so they can still continue. But speaking about Deepak also somehow managed to come out unharmed from that particular incident when he went into the side pod of Dark Knight. The sausage curve there is not doing any justice. If you are riding the sausage curve, you might lose your car if you are going on throttle, and that's what we are seeing from most of these drivers. Again, the question will rise, was Deepak given enough space? But in my opinion, I think he was. And Dark Knight is now clear to chase down Faizan, who is 4 seconds ahead of him.
Yep, and the thing is, Deepak is on hard tires, which have even lesser traction than the mediums, which could have been a factor for him spinning by going on the curbs there.
Yeah, definitely the tires did not make his situation better in that place. So that is definitely there, but we do see a gap forming between the drivers. Sukoyumi is still sticking to his teammate Dark Knight there in the Red Bull with just 8 tenths behind him. He will just be taking his DRS and enjoying the fruits of a faster driver ahead of him.
Yep, and Dark Knight will be furious by getting held behind Deepak, as a 4-second gap has been created between Faizan and Dark Knight, which is too difficult to pull in here because there will be no DRS for Dark Knight for a long time, and he'll have to use his ERS a lot. and the ERS region is really, really bad at this track.
We do have a
And
yellow.
we have a
Yes.
incident.
I did see yellow flags. I think no one else was involved in this incident. Axel Sam himself lost his rear end going through the fast right hander as I was speaking. It is pretty tricky to take it flat out in the race, and especially with hard tires, you are not doing yourself justice, and if you spin, you are mostly going into the wall. But thankfully, Axel Sam has come out of it with not a lot of damage. We do see a slight, uh, slight yellow tinge on his front right wing, but hopefully he can carry on. Might not lose a lot of pace because of that incident.
Yep, might just be a loss of an end plate. So we hope he doesn't lose a lot of pace and he can stick with the strategy he was hoping for.
I think at this stage with that much damage it's better to stick with that strategy. Anything can happen during the course of the race. We do have right now Sai Tarun who is trying to chase Deepak again. Deepak being the cock in the bottle right now, again holding up 2-3 people. No, it's right now only Sai Tarun who is very close to Deepak. Okay, so it does seem like the field has spaced out a bit. Dark Knight has gained around 3.4 has gained around a second to Faizan in the last 1 or 2 laps. So Dark Knight is catching up to Faizan, and we'll see when he decides to attack Faizan.
Yep, we don't know for now that if that was the raw pace from Dark Knight or was it a ERS dump just trying to chase Faizan down. But whatever it was, the gap has closed down, and we hope it closes down even more so we see some action between Dark Knight and Faizan.
Definitely. Right now we are on board Sai Tarun, whom we expect some action to brew up soon. Sai Tarun with 44% ERS on his bank. You can see the traction difference between a hard tire and a medium tire at this stage. Just Sai Tarun was so confident, but following a car in the SS is another level of torture. So that's what we saw. Sai Tarun couldn't predict where the apex was just because he had to go by the feel. But right now he's trying to take tighter lines, trying to open up the next corner as much as possible just so that he can get a run on Deepak for diving down. But I think he should just hold back, get a better exit from this corner, turn on his DRS and ERS, and maybe make for hope for a move.
Yep, and I guess he'll be making his move here. The ERS is on. He'll take the outside line and he sticks the move to the outside, and he comes ahead of Deepak after the back straight, which was a really good move by Sai Tarun there.
Yeah, it was a brilliant move by Sai Tarun, very safe move. We do have yellow flags because of Sager who has spun out and in the back, so he will be trying to rejoin the track and get on power, carefully, because if your tires are hot you can actually spin out again. But yeah, that was a pretty safe move there by Sai Tarun. Judged his place where he would like to overtake and perfectly deployed his DRS and ERS and made the move stick. But the one downside that Sai Tarun has now, that he used almost all of his ERS. Right now he is only at 32% of ERS, so he will have to do some conserving of ERS. Otherwise, once the hard tires or once the medium tires falls off the cliff, he is gonna have a bad time trying to stay ahead of Deepak.
Yep, and this track is not too good with the ERS region. It's almost negligible here. So Sai Tarun will have a hard time if someone gets behind his gearbox trying to make a move. Yeah. And on the other hand, we see his teammate Ink on almost 100% ERS, not using anything for now, just keeping it until the end for the final move.
Yeah, I think Ink is planning to go till the end on the hard tires. Yeah, I don't think he will be pitting again. Although it's gonna be very risky move, like towards the end your tires are gonna be 70% or even more, but you can do it. We do know that he got into an incident in the first lap itself and broke his wing, because of which he had to pit from the mediums to the hard tires, which he is running right now, but he can finish the race on these tires, and I think that's what he is hoping for.
Yep, it will be quite a challenging thing to take these hard tires till the end, as the tires just get killed at the SS, and if he makes a wrong move after like 50 or 55%, he'll end up in the wall, and the whole strategy will be in the pin. So it will be a pretty challenging task for Ink, and he will be hoping for a late safety car so he can pit for a new set of softs or mediums and then have a clean race.
Yeah, definitely. I guess everyone will be hoping for that, considering this track does have a lot of tire wear. But one thing is there that Ink is trying to get back in the field, although he is 24 seconds behind most of the drivers. But right now he is within the DRS of BK19, who has switched to the medium tires after his incident. So right now is just casual driving with not a lot of action on the track, because everyone has found their pace, everyone has found their groove. Speaking of groove and pace, it seems like Faizan has racked up 6 seconds of penalty in the past 8 laps, so not going really good for him, and so has Jose Hero. So they will be cautious on looking for their penalties and try avoiding as much as possible. As we say that Jose Hero gets another 3-second penalty, making his penalty count to 9 seconds. We do have Dark Knight, who has closed up the gap to just 1.6 seconds behind Faizan as of now. So he is on a hunt for the P2 position.
Yep, Faizan is pushing the limits, stacking up the penalties, but still not gaining time on Faizan or Dark Knight, which is not a good thing. And he will want to stop taking penalties as soon as possible.
Yeah, because I remember in past race somewhere, he racked up so many penalties that he, even though he finished P4, P5, he ended up out of like P10 even. So the penalties are never a good thing to have. So let's see what Faizan can do going forward, because most of these drivers are driving carefully, and I don't think many of them will be racking up penalties if you are cautious about it. But let's see, anything can happen. We still have 20 laps or so to go for this race, and a lot of things can happen in that duration.
Yep, that's true. And a late safety car might be an end for Faizan's race and a chance for a podium with those 6 seconds. But let's hope he doesn't get any more penalties and gets a clean race in. And we see a Dark Knight chasing Faizan, closing the gap to just 1.4 seconds. In about a lap or so, he might be at the gearbox of Faizan, trying to make a move for that second place.
Yeah. Oh, and there he is. He almost lost his rear and had to correct it, and that costed him around 3 to 4 tenths. That's one thing about this game. The traction is very difficult, and if you are running no TC, you have to be very careful on the amount of steering input and the throttle input that you give going through a corner. But right now the time that he had gained on Faizan is again lost. Although one thing that Dark Knight is doing very perfectly is conserving his ERS. He knows when he has to conserve, and he is gonna use it when he is about to attack Faizan. Faizan is running pretty low on ERS, so I think Faizan is not wanting Dark Knight in his DRS, so that's why I think Faizan is trying to push, because once Dark Knight goes into the DRS of Faizan, it might be a game over for Faizan.
Yep, that's true. And even while pushing, you are hurting your tires a lot, and Faizan will be on a lot more tire wear. That is what I believe, than Dark Knight, because Dark Knight is just sticking to the track, not deploying any ERS and taking it slow and steady. Whereas Faizan is pushing a lot, as we can see from his 6 seconds of time penalties, the extent of push he's having here.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Faizan wants to get away from Dark Knight, but Dark Knight, since he has the greater pace among the two, he is just casually catching up to Faizan. And Dark Knight is playing the long game. He knows that he has, if he stays here also, he has won the Drivers' Championship. So he is just playing the long game. He is just waiting for the right moment. He will not be taking any risks, because the last thing that he wants is to get disqualified.
Yep, he will be looking at the bigger picture here. A podium is well and good for him, and he'll be more than happy by taking a podium and a WDC rather than DNFing and not taking a WDC.
We do have a yellow flag because of Jose Hero in the exit that leads up to the back straight. As I said, the traction zone is a bit tricky there, and I think that's what caught Jose Hero there off guard. In the background, we do see a battle between the McLaren and Axel Sam. Sager in the McLaren in the hard tires trying to chase down Axel Sam, and now Jose Hero has also come into the picture after his spin there. So it's gonna be a nice three-way battle that we can watch, which is gonna brew up in some time.
Yep, finally after a long and lazy 11 laps, we'll finally see some actions.
Yeah, let's see what Sager has in response, because before Sager was just thinking of overtaking Axel Sam, but now he has to even count Jose Hero into the picture. And tire wise, it does seem like Axel Sam has the advantage, but Sager is just sticking to the DRS, and he is trying to nullify the advantage of the tire that Axel Sam has. And till now, it has been working perfectly fine for him, because I have been keeping an eye out on the timing sheet since the past few laps, and I have seen that the gap has dropped a bit, and this is the place where people lose or gain time, because following a car in the SS is another tricky job, and seems like everyone is handling pretty well going through the SS, as Axel Sam gets a slightly bad exit compared to Sager. Is Sager gonna send it in the hairpin itself? Yes, he is. Looks for the inside, dives on the inside, and gets the position done. But who will get the DRS right now? Both are still side by side. I think Axel Sam got a better exit, but Sager still gets the DRS, and that helps him maintain that overtake that he did just now on Axel Sam.
That was such a smart move from Sager. He was taking behind Axel Sam till the DRS zone and sent it to the inside before the corner and came out ahead, and even with the DRS. So he made a gap right away by getting the DRS and the better exit at the corner.
We do see that Axel Sam also has some good pace on the medium tires, so maybe there might be a move coming again to reverse the position swaps, but it does seem like Sager just pulled in a second on Axel Sam there, so maybe the hopes are not that much, but the only hope that Axel Sam has are the tire that he is running. So he is on the mediums, and he is having way better grip out of the corners and in the braking zone, as we can see. So he has to just leverage that and maybe not do any silly mistakes, and maybe there is a chance to get back that position.
Yep, and just the benefit of doubt for Axel Sam losing that position will be his front wing, the right front wing. That's a bit damaged. So might be he was slow on the SS because of the damage.
Yeah.
And we see FIFA Kanak pitting, also Faizan pitting.
I think Faizan just reacted to FIFA Kanak pitting, so he's trying to nullify any undercut or any overcut, strategies that FIFA Kanak was thinking of, any undercut strategy. But right now, Dark Knight is looking for the overcut. Maybe he did conserve his tires, although the tire graphics on the bottom left does not seem to be very happy. All his tires are in the almost red category, so he is probably driving on very worn out tires, and this is not gonna help his cause, as we have Sager who has spun out again. I don't think there was any contact, but it just seems like he has spun out on traction there, because that place also can be a bit tricky on traction, as he goes really wide in the final fourth corner, if I'm not wrong, as we have another battle between BK19 and Sai Tarun. Sai Tarun just now coming out of the pits. His car seems to be ghosted. Is he disconnected?
Yep, he just left the session like 2 minutes ago.
Oof. He won't be happy, because I think that's his AI who has pitted. So I think that was probably not his strategy to pit. As Sager has DNF'd in the pits, he said he has had enough and he has left the race, and he is right now in the pits disqualified. So right now Sai Tarun's car is somehow overtaking. Hello?
I guess it's because of the DRS and AI will be deploying all the ERS for Sai Tarun.
Yeah, I think that's what has happened. Sai Tarun won't be happy at all once he rejoins the session, because it seems like AI is deploying whatever ERS he has, as Dark Knight has also pitted in for the hard tires. Let's see where he comes out. He is right now driving on the pit exit. We do have Deepak who has overtaken him on the hard tires because he has not pitted. FIFA Kanak also overtakes him. Faizan also overtakes him. We'll see the gap between him and Faizan in a few seconds. As far as I remember, he was just a second behind when Faizan decided to pit, and now he is 2.4 seconds behind. So a net loss of around 1.4 seconds that he has had there because of staying out for one more lap compared to other drivers, and that is not what he would have thought. We do have Joseiro who just now spun in the final sector, causing him to lose one position, and right now he is behind Axel Sam, and he will try to pick himself up.
Yep, and the gap just increased from 2.4 to 3.4 between Dark Knight and Faizan, as Faizan was already on a ramped up tires and Dark Knight was on completely cold tires, and those hard cold tires are not good to the SS.
Right now we have two battles on the field. Sai Tarun is trying to get back the position that he lost because he disconnected. So he is trying to chase down on BK19. Up ahead we do have FIFA Kanak who is trying to make a move on Deepak on the hard tires, on the new hard tires that he has put on. But right now Sai Tarun and BK19 going side by side, trying to give each other space as Sai Tarun just loses his rear there for a split second, and that just gave the opportunity to BK19 to keep the position ahead as of now, and Sai Tarun racks up a 3-second penalty in that process. Deepak decides to go into the pits for the medium tires for the last 13 or so laps, and so does Tsukuyomi. I think Deepak was just reacting to Tsukuyomi pitting because both of them will be on the hard tires as they come out. Sorry.
Yep.
Tsukuyomi is on the hard tires, okay. Deepak pitted for mediums. What tire was Tsukuyomi on before this?
I guess Tsukuyomi started on mediums. Yeah, he started on mediums, correct.
So he stretched his medium for 15 laps. Commendable job by him as well. I wanted to see his tire graphs, but I guess we'll not get to see that. But nevertheless, he has pitted and come out on the hard tires just behind his teammate Dark Knight. Faizan is just 7/10 behind FIFA Kanak. What has happened there? I think his battle with Deepak did not help the cause, and just helped Faizan close in the gap there.
Yeah, or might have FIFA Kanak made a mistake at some of the corners, overshooting a bit, because Faizan has closed in the gap a lot faster than we expected him to.
Yeah, definitely it does look like he had some kind of a moment right now. Sai Tarun is looking for a move on BK19, and that's where he gets it maybe. No, it seems like BK19 got a better exit, trying for a switchback line, almost getting another penalty in the process, almost skipping the rear end. Both of them trying. Sai Tarun is getting very eager to pass BK19 there, trying to take all kinds of alternate lines. But both of these drivers trying different weird lines through corners, but at the end BK19 manages to stay ahead of Sai Tarun for now. Let's see till when.
So those were some really bold lines by both of them. We didn't expect those lines anywhere in the race.
As it seems like Sai Tarun is pulling out to the outside to make a move, gives a bit too much space on the inside to BK19 there, but better safe than sorry. They are trying to go side by side into the SS, not a good idea, and the BK19 decides to back out for now and maybe look out for the long straight, because remember BK19 has way more ERS than Sai Tarun there.
Yep, and he can see, BK19 can clearly see Sai Tarun flashing, so he'll be like, I'll take my chance at the back straight, because he knows Sai Tarun is low on ERS now.
So we will park that battle for now, because right now Faizan is just making a move on FIFA Kanak. Was successful in doing so in the back straight with DRS and ERS help. Not sure why FIFA Kanak is having such a loss of pace. It does seem like he is not very accustomed to the hard tires that he has put on, and he's just trying to take it cautiously, as we can see him lift completely going through that that right-hander, and Faizan definitely seems to have more pace than FIFA Kanak at this current stage.
Yep, it looks like FIFA Kanak is not confident on these hard tires on this track. Because he is not pushing to the limits, and Faizan is pulling the gap even more. It's almost 7/10 now.
Yeah, it seems like he is not confident in the hard tires and the grip that these hard tires have in them, and maybe it will take some time for him to get back that grip, as Deepak sets the fastest time on the medium tires of the session right now in P8, chasing Ink on a fresher set of tires. I don't think FIFA Kanak is gonna overtake Faizan, because if he just sticks to the DRS of Faizan, that's more than enough, because Faizan does have a 6-second penalty. So it's better to be safe than sorry, as again Jose Hero spins again for the 4th or 5th time. We do have Deepak, who is on the rear of Ink, so this battle is also gonna get spicy soon.
Jose Heroes.
Oh,
Yep.
just lets him by. Ink just lets him by. Clearly he let him by, like. So Ink decided that this is not his battle, because he's on the hard tires and Deepak is on the medium tires, and he decides to just let him by. What do you think about that?
I guess he did the DRS chicken there. He took the DRS, and we can see him coming back, and he's on pretty old hard tires, so even that might be a case.
Yeah, maybe he just wants to stick to the DRS of Deepak, but then letting Deepak by and him not making a move on that DRS has just sealed the position for Deepak, because of the superior tire that Deepak has. Deepak will just fly off, and Ink might not get even DRS even in the start-finish straight on this lap itself. He's almost
might be a...
Oh. Okay, so
never mind, he comes into the pit.
Yeah, I guess that's what his strategy was. So anyways, he wanted to come into the pit, so he was like, why battle when you anyways have to come into the pits. So our theory of Ink continuing till the end on the hard tires have been thrown out of the window. We can see his tires being pretty orangish there, and I think carrying on for 10 more laps is just impossible on those tires.
Yep, so our guesses were wrong that Ink will go on till the end on these hard tires.
Yeah, right now it seems like FIFA Kanak is just within 1 second, still managing to hold up to the DRS of Faizan there, and somehow managing to stick there as much as possible. So we'll see whether he decides to make a move on Faizan or not, because he can clearly see the blinking lights that Faizan has ahead of him, indicating that he has a low ERS. Because he is trying to push and defend from FIFA Kanak. FIFA Kanak will slowly start getting his confidence back in these tires and in the car itself, and maybe he will look for a move towards the end of the session.
Yep, even FIFA Kanak is not risking anything, just sticking behind Faizan, saving his ERS and getting the benefit of DRS there.
Yeah, as long as he is able to follow Faizan, I think even I wouldn't have done any risky move, because you do gain around 2 tenths in the DRS, and even if you lose around 4 tenths to the car ahead in the whole track, you are still pretty much sorted because of the DRS. So that's what I think FIFA Kanak is doing. Yeah, those were some perfect lines through the ESS. I'm not sure why he is not having confidence, because those lines look like pro lines going through the SS.
I guess he's not passing just because he wants the DRS there, because the lines he's taking is almost perfect and he can easily make the pass on Faizan. And as we say that, he loses the rear end on the exit. So yeah, the form's curse is real.
The commentator's curse is always real, so that's why we have started talking about any driver in any bad sense. But FIFA Kanak, they're trying to use as much of the track as he is given and more, and maybe he should be careful on that, because he might get a penalty. Considering that FIFA Kanak is taking so much of the curb on almost all of the corner entry and exit, not getting a penalty is very commendable actually, because he is that precise on his steering inputs, and he is able to manage to not get any penalties, even though he is going so close to the exit. Just look at
Yep,
that.
just he's on the limit of the curb.
Every curve that he takes, he is on the limit. We do have Ink, who is trying to make a move on BK19 on the fresh medium tires, maybe pushing him off the track in the process, and BK19 had to go through the sausage curves because of that.
Yep, that looked like BK19 didn't have enough space there, but we can't judge it now as we didn't see the whole move getting completed.
Yeah, we do see BK19 still able to stick behind Ink. Ink does have a bit of fresher tire, not a lot, just one lap fresher tire. So, Ink has one lap older tire. So we'll see what BK19 has in response to the move that Ink did on him, as he completely misses his braking point and almost rear ends Ink there. So he has to be careful not to do that, because that will make him donate his wing.
And that will ruin both of their races.
Well, right now it does seem like a pack has formed, so we do have the top three people just running away. Tsukuyomi with 9 seconds of gap between himself and his teammate. And then we have another pack among Tsukuyomi, Sai Tarun and Deepak. And then we have 18 seconds behind, we have Ink and BK19, who we are spectating at the moment with just 8 laps to go. Let's see what this race has in store for us.
Everyone is having a race of their own at the moment, just trying to get to the car ahead. And the only battle we'll be seeing now will be BK19 making a move on Ink.
Yeah, definitely. Well, more than this race, I'm more excited for the after race session, the donut sessions that we have. I will definitely love to watch the car donut in the Yas Marina circuit under the lights, because it just looks so beautiful in the game. And that is gonna be a sight to watch, and a proper send off from IRC to the F122 game, because this is probably the last race that, especially in Tier 2, that we are having in F122. We already concluded Tier 3 yesterday night, and if you haven't watched that, I would request you to go and watch if you want to watch the donuts done by our Tier 3 boys under the lights in Yes Marina. But today we are gonna have the Tier 2 boys are gonna have that privilege, and we are gonna be having a parade lap followed by the donut session. So in the parade lap, we will be having everyone in the formation of their driver championship finishing order. So we will have them do a parade lap and do a proper send off to this season, as we have Jose Hiro, who has spun again in the final corner exit, not having the best of his races, not able to figure out what his car wants, how much throttle it wants, and that's what causing all of this.
Yep, sadly, Jose Hiro is just getting two things, that is getting spun and racking up penalty point.
It does look like BK19 is almost at the same pace as Ink there, so he is still not losing a lot of time, still not gaining a lot of time. Maybe once his tires, I think by now his tires are up to temperature, so he should be pushing, and maybe we'll see pass back from BK19 as he just chops down 2 tenths on Ink there. We do know that Ink is running some kind of traction control setting, so either medium or full, and because of that, maybe BK19 might have an advantage, especially in the fast right-hander and the corner that leads to that. So those two are very heavy traction zones, and if you can modulate your throttle perfectly, you will get the best of the exit, and definitely a better exit than a person running with TC medium or full. Sai Tarun racks up another 3 seconds of penalty, not helping his cause. Right now he is just 5 seconds ahead of Deepak. I think he already has 12 seconds penalty there. So definitely not the best race that he is having. He will lose a couple of positions, but right now he has to at least finish ahead of Ink. That's what his aim should be.
Yep, Sai Tarun is definitely not having a good race in terms of getting penalties. And is BK19 in the DRS? No, he doesn't get the DRS at the back straight, which will delay the move even further.
Yeah, I think Ink will just pull up a bit of a time here, but then he might also again lose time in the third sector because of his traction control setting. So we will see what the delta is between these two cars as they cross the start-finish line. But it does seem like he's gaining up on PK9 on Ink there in the final sector. But yeah, like if he manages to stay in the DRS, once he is in the DRS, I think BK19 can take a breather for 1 or 2 laps, recharge his ERS, and then go for a move. With just 5 laps left in the session, as we were speaking about that, BK19 loses his rear on the traction zone coming out of the final corner. Commentator's curse is real, guys. It's definitely real, and because of that, all that hope that he had to overtake Ink is gone out of the window.
Yep, and Ink will be happy seeing his rear view mirror BK19 spin and getting away from his gearbox.
Yeah, we do see a bit of a gap created between FIFA Kanak and Faizan. I think FIFA Kanak had a moment. He is having moments throughout his drive. We can see him correcting his steering every corner, every traction zone. And because of that, he is losing time to Dark Knight behind him. And we might see a battle between Dark Knight and FIFA Kanak, the championship rivals for almost half of this season here at Tier 2 towards the end of the race. And that will be a very brilliant way to finish this season.
Yep, I hope we do see Dark Knight making a move on FIFA Kanak rather than just holding back and sticking behind, and give us some nice action towards the end of this race.
Yeah, it does seem like as of now Faizan will be on the podium step even with his 9 seconds penalty. It doesn't seem like Tsukuyomi is gaining time on these folks. So the podium finishers could be FIFA Kanak, Dark Knight and Faizan. Maybe not specifically in that order. That's what is gonna be decided in the next 4 laps. We do see FIFA Kanak losing his rear a lot on these hard tires. So he is not very confident, but Dark Knight is also not catching a lot on FIFA Kanak. So seems like Dark Knight and FIFA Kanak have almost the same pace, but we do see FIFA Kanak deploying all of the ERS that he has just to make sure that Dark Knight doesn't get in his ERS, in his DRS.
Yep, FIFA Kanak wants the P1 at the final race of this season, and he is trying his level best to achieve that. And let's see how Dark Knight pulls towards FIFA Kanak, as he has a lot more ERS than FIFA Kanak here. He is well in the 40s. He has 41% of ERS left, so he can use that to get behind FIFA Kanak and potentially make a move for that P2 position on track.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, Axel Sam sets the fastest time of the session, and on the soft tires, obviously. So he has stolen the fastest lap point from anyone who was thinking that they might take the fastest lap point. But anyways, this is the last race of the season, and it doesn't matter who gets the fastest lap point, because sort of the championship is already decided unless Dark Knight does something which he shouldn't do. Knock on wood, no commentator's curse, so let's see.
Yep, I hope there is no commentator's curse here, because me being a Red Bull driver wants to see Dark Knight on that top podium.
Yeah, with just 3 laps left in the race, only around 5 minutes of racing is what we have, as Sai Tarun gets another 3 seconds penalty, making his penalty count to 15 seconds, which is not gonna help his cause. And we'll see how where he will finish the race. He might just be finishing it ahead of his teammate in P7. So as we expected, track was not fair to a lot of these people, but a lot of these people were able to tame the track perfectly, and case in point is gonna be FIFA Kanak. We have seen the lines that FIFA Kanak is taking. He is on the edge. He doesn't care. He knows how much exactly he has on the track, and he is using every inch of the track he has under him. FIFA Kanak turned up today in the race and he said, I paid for the track and I'm gonna use all of it. That's what he has been doing for the past 26 laps perfectly without getting any penalty. Just 2 more laps left, and with 1.2 seconds behind Dark Knight, let's see if he can close the gap. We still have 2 seconds left here, 2 laps left here, and anything can happen in these moments.
Yep, it will be very good to see some battle at the end between the championship rivals.
Sai Tarun decides to pit for the fastest lap, I assume.
Yep, he must be thinking that racking up 50 seconds of penalty won't help anyway, so I'll just get the fastest lap.
But then he might lose more positions, because right now with 15 seconds of penalty, he might finish behind Beacon 19, so he will effectively lose 2 positions. Before he was probably gonna come out ahead of Ink, so that was in P7 or something. Now he's gonna come out behind BK19, so he will lose 2 positions. So maybe not a lot of points that he will lose, but definitely not worth putting in for the fastest lap. Maybe he just wanted to seal his name as the fastest lap in the last race of the season. Maybe that's what he is going for.
Yep, that's the only theory that is correct, I guess. That he wants his...
Yeah,
Yep.
we are in the last second lap of the race. This is now or never for Dark Knight. If he wants to make a move, he has to get in the DRS, use his ERS, and then get into the DRS of FIFA Kanak in this lap itself, and then maybe he will have a chance in the final lap, but it does not seem very likely because both the drivers are running very low on ERS, and I don't think Dark Knight has enough juice to make the move stick, because getting in the DRS is one thing, passing the driver is another. So I guess the positions will stay as it is unless something suddenly happens, but it doesn't look like Dark Knight gets the DRS. FIFA Kanak will mostly maintain P1 position at the end of the race after the penalties are applied. BK19 also deciding to pit for some reason, not sure why, maybe for the fastest lap, but I don't think he will get 1 lap to set that, so it's now or never for BK19 to set a fastest lap of the session.
If everyone wants their name edged for the fastest lap of the last race of F122.
Yeah, it clearly seems like that's what is happening here.
Yeah, it'll be fun if someone else also pits, but I don't think they'll get to do
So right
another
now,
lap as...
right now it seems like Sai Tarun is getting all the help that he needs to set the fastest lap of the session from his teammate, as his teammate clearly moves to the left to give him the way with the DRS. He gave him the DRS and then moved out correctly in time, just so that his Sai Tarun can get the fastest lap of the session. Let's see whether he will be actually able to do that. Sector 2 was a purple for him. Dark Knight is within a second right now from FIFA Kanak, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Both of them were running low on ERS right now. Sai Tarun is almost about to cross the line as he almost invalidates his lap going through the final corner, cuts the corner as much as possible, gets on power as early as possible, crosses the line, says the fastest time of the race with a 1:35.6. He lifted off as well, thinking that it was a quali session, but then I think he realized that it was a race, and then he got back on power.
The lap was a quali lap, the performance was a quali lap, and we are getting a full quali vibe in a race.
Literally full quali vibe. Like, his teammate literally slowed down so that he can get DRS and then moved out of the way. Perfect teammates, I would say, as BK19 starts his lap to set the quali lap of the race. We are actually getting qualifying vibes in race. I think that's the exciting part about this race, but it's all on BK19. He doesn't have an help from his teammate. But yeah, let's see. Misses the apex there. might cost him some time, but he still has a lot of lap to go. Does set the fastest sector 1. We do have Faizan who crosses the line in P1 but will lose position because of his penalties. FIFA Kanak manages to stay ahead of Dark Knight and takes the P1 position. Dark Knight in P2, Faizan in P3. Sukuyomi will be staying in P4 as he is rounding up the final corner. Comes and finishes the line, crosses the line, finishes P4. Deepak with a brilliant drive on the medium tires. With 13 laps done, almost those tires are near puncture. Crosses the line, will be thankful he didn't get to see a puncture, and finishes P5. Sai Tarun has disconnected, he is done. He was like, I said the fastest lap, I am done. And then he crosses the line, finishes P7. His penalties might not help the cause as we have BK19 who is in the third sector looking for a hot lap here. We will see whether he is able to change the fastest lap point that is currently to Sai Tarun. Uses all the track and more that he has. I'm not sure why that didn't invalidate, but he will cross the line, will not set the fastest time of the session. That still stays with Sai Tarun, especially because I think he got the help from his teammate with the DRS. Axel Sam being the last of the runners coming across the last second corner, crossing the line, and will finish P9 for the same. Jose Hero, you know, one thing I would like to say, Jose Hero did not had a brilliant race today. Would like to forget about this race, but I would commend his endurance that he had. Even after spinning so many times, he finished the race. He did not quit the race, he finished the race. And even though he finished last, but he at least finished. So that's better than not finishing itself. So comment to him as well. But there's your winner for the final race of the season, FIFA Kanak in the Alpine, followed by Dark Knight, who will take the Drivers' Championship in the Red Bull in the background. So Dark Knight wins the Tier 2 Drivers' Championship of F122. We will be soon again seeing these drivers in F123, but that has to wait for the next season to start as we go into the final podium celebration of the season here at IRC in Tier 2.
Yep, it was a great season for the Tier 2 races. Such great racing, such great battles all around the tracks and every single race of the season. It was really fun to watch and to commentate on these good drivers. And I'd like to congratulate Dark Knight on winning the Tier 2 championship for the first time.
Yeah, definitely a brilliant drive by him throughout the season. We do have our final standings ahead of you, in front of you. We do see a couple of people getting a lot of penalties. Jose Hero with 21 seconds, and then Sai Tarun following closely behind with 15 seconds of penalty. Track was not fair to some of them, but majority of the drivers not getting even a single penalty is just a hats off from my side, and a brilliant drive by them. So definitely a great drive these people had, and a great season that we got to watch just because of these drivers. If you have stuck with us till now, just hold on for some time. We will be having a session where, as I said, we will be having a donut session at Yas Marina. So we will be right back within 5 minutes, and stay tuned, guys. back with the interview session. We will have the interview first and then we will have the donut session. So right now we do have Faizan in the VC with us. Unfortunately, FIFA Kanak will not be joining us for the podium interviews, but Faizan is here, who got P3 in the race. So let's start with him. Faizan, what are your thoughts on the race? You did had a lot of penalties, but you still managed to actually win on the track.
Yeah, pretty surprised by the pace because I was also driving with a broken finger, so I was just using one hand and the right hand was just for the support.
Oh
I was, yeah, I was not expecting to be this fast. And also yeah, even the penalties were because of the hand itself. Like I couldn't turn it properly, and that's the reason I got 9 seconds. But yeah, happy to be P3.
Oh damn, the conditions that you just now mentioned are extreme conditions that you drove today, but yeah, definitely a brilliant drive. We did see that you stopped getting the penalties after a point, so maybe you got used to how to drive with one hand. But yeah, nevertheless, a brilliant race that you had here, and commendable finish. We did see you have almost, if not better pace than FIFA Kanak and Dark Knight in the hard stint. So brilliant drive for driving with one hand. So great finish by you. Let's move on. We do have Dark Knight also in the VC, our driver championship winner, and also P2 in today's race. So Dark Knight, how do you feel winning the WDC?
Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, I was hoping for a win as I was catching up to FIFA Kanak, but then I was running out of laps, and his sector one was actually very good. So kudos to both FIFA Kanak and Faizan. They drove an excellent race. So yeah, just happy with all the result, and finally the season is ended. So it's good.
So do we get to see you in the next season? That is probably in F123 or F122, be it.
Yeah, of course, I'll be there. I had enough with F122 now. On to 23.
Almost everyone has had enough with F122 with the bugs and all that, so we all are glad to move on to F123. But I guess since we don't have FIFA Kanak, congrats again on your WDC and P2 finish, and Faizan on your P3 finish for today's race.
Also, I want to say I didn't fulfill Dan's prophecy. I think he sent a super chat saying I'll win the race, but I'll probably return half the amount because I got P2. But thanks for that, Dan.
I think we missed to see that because I didn't have the chat open. But yeah, anyways, I would like to congratulate you for your WDC win and Faizan for P3 win. Onwards to the donut celebration. Let's go. I believe you are still in the session, so let's just start. Let's other also join in, and we will have a small donut session and a small send off to F122 in here at Tier 2. As we wait for the drivers to ready up, we are almost in the game. We do have a lot of these people. Okay, Deepak has joined, so let me just set the custom grid for him because I think I did not add him there. Just a second. Yeah, so Deepak, I think, where will Deepak end? Can you tell?
Deepak will be behind Sai.
Okay, behind Sai, so F2 is to move up. Okay, and Jose Hero?
Sai, Deepak, then Jose Hero, then Sager,
Okay,
and then DK19 if he is in the lobby.
okay. Okay, I think this makes sense. Yes. Okay, I guess we'll wait for them to ready up again because I had to cancel it. We had to put Deepak up ahead. So I guess they can, once they ready up, we will get a view of the Yas Marina circuit. Obviously, we did not finish this season on the Yas Marina circuit because of, because we wanted some kind of a different finisher for this season. We have been finishing our seasons in either Brazil or Yas Marina. So this time, since we didn't finish it there, we will have a donut session just to, enjoy the beauty of the track it is under the night lights. And we are just waiting for the drivers to ready up, and then we will close off this season with a final send off.
Yep. A parade race followed by a donut session. That'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, definitely. We have set the session to 5 laps, so they have 5 laps to go around. It depends on them what they want to do, but first lap at least they should do one behind the other at a slower pace, no need to push, and then we will have the donut session at the end, as all the drivers have readied up and we are loading into the game as of now. You might get some telemetry graphics, so please ignore that.
Yeah.
Oh nice, we didn't get telemetry graphics, so something good. Anyways, drivers will get to do their setup, but I guess no one will be doing their setup. We are just waiting for them to ready up, and then we will have the parade lap followed by the donut session. Overall, what would be the one word that you would like to say for this season, Vicious?
The one word will be thrilling.
Thrilling. Yeah, brilliant
Yep.
choice of word indeed. And for me also it was something around those lines only, you know, probably exciting. But there are the lights, and the lights will go out on the track right now. I think it's not set to midnight, or is it midnight?
I guess it's a glitch or something that even if you set to midnight, it somehow doesn't get set to midnight.
I guess this is the race time. It's dawn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gone.
Nevertheless, we have our Dark Knight who is leading the pack. He won the WDC. He participated in almost all the races. Came out almost on top on all of the races, and he will be leading the pack. Behind we do have Ink and Sai Tarun, both the both the Aston Martin boys who are driving behind him. They will be slightly disappointed on not winning the Constructor Championship, but again, Sai Tarun picked up a lot from his mentor. Probably Ink was his mentor throughout the season, and we could clearly see him improving as the season progressed. Before, he couldn't even finish the race, but towards the end he was up there fighting for the championship, and Ink himself being a great guide there and trying to take the Aston Martin flag as up as possible. We do have Deepak, who joined us towards the end of the season, towards the later half of the season, but was able to creep back up, fight for his position in the driver's standing, and was able to finish a commendable P11 or P12 if I am not wrong. So that's not a bad finish for him as well in this championship. So definitely a brilliant drive. Maybe he wanted this season to be a bit more long, but he is very much welcome to join us in the next season. We have Jose Hero, a strong, resilient fellow that we saw today, even in today's race, even after so much of spin and not having the best of the laps, he did still finish the race. We do have Tsukuyomi behind him, trying to be the ideal partner to Dark Knight, because Dark Knight's actual teammate did not show up for most of the season, and Tsukuyomi was there to maybe help him out as much as he could in the races. We do have Sager, who did not have the best of the races today, but definitely a brilliant season that he had as of now, till now during the season, and that's him finishing up the grid. Obviously we don't see the other drivers because we open this session only for the drivers who participate in today's race, and all of them are right here. They complete their parade lap and hopefully they start their donuts as Dark Knight lines up for a donut. Let's see whether he can pull out a donut. He does have a wheel, but it can be sometimes challenging to do a donut, as we can see him struggling there to make his rear end kick. I think what he has to do is turn off his TC if he has any, and that's when he can do. We do see Deepak doing perfect donuts in the background there and we do see Sager also nailing those donuts. So Deepak and Sager are experts in this. We do have Tsukuyomi also in the mix doing the same. So brilliant scenery here under the lights. But yeah, most of these drivers being on controller and some of them having keyboard inputs, it's a bit difficult to do donuts. Dark Knight is whom I expected the best donuts from. He's trying to maintain the donut, but it does seem like his car is bogging down at the end. But definitely brilliant donuts. There we get to see in the third person view until he hit the wall there.
The commentator's curse is even hitting in the donut session.
Definitely. Ink chose a much better place, a much wider place to do the donut, but his TC is kicking in, I believe. Maybe he should turn off his TC, and that's what is gonna help him. His teammate, meanwhile, able to do better donuts than Ink there. So, full lock.
And they can't even turn the TC off now, as if they go on the pause menu, the AI will just go off.
Yeah, that is a big issue actually. Good that you pointed out. I guess that's why people are not doing it. But anyways, Sukayomi is having nice time. Dark Knight also having nice time there.
Now Dark Knight is getting a hang of it.
Yeah, it takes some hang.
And,
and as
yeah,
we
it
say
takes
that,
some hang.
both the Red Bulls trying to drift into one another because that's what we are gonna see in real life. Also, we just have the Red Bulls dominating, and here the Red Bulls are also dominating the donut session, I believe.
Yep. The others have left for a lap, I guess.
I'm not sure. They just found the
No,
widest area.
Correct. This is a good space.
Yeah. They were like, we were hitting the walls too much, so now let's go to the widest area, and that's where we will do the donuts. The camera angle I don't like in F1, man. Please let us choose.
Deepak gets the P1 for doing best donuts.
Shall we add extra points in our
Yep.
Drivers Championship
Yes. Extra point for good donuts.
for good donuts? It's just like extra marks for good handwriting.
Yep. So in that sense, Uptech should lose some points.
Indeed, but what a great season we had. What a brilliant, what a brilliant season we had as we are on board Deepak doing the donuts. What a brilliant races we got to watch, especially towards the start of the season. And this is how we are finishing it. What a grand finale we had. And we are done with this season. But yeah, that's it from us. If you liked what you watch and if you want to watch more, do consider joining us. The links to joining our Discord will be down there in the description. And we have shall we close the donut session? I guess we should. So that's what we have for this season from us, IRC. If you like what you watched, do consider joining us with the links down in the description. Do consider giving us a sub and a follow, and do follow us on our Instagram as well to keep you posted for when we launch the next season here at IRC. And mostly it's gonna be F123, so maybe a much better and an exciting game that we'll get to race on. But if you have followed us throughout the season, thanks for following us, and do keep tuned when we come back with another season here at IRC. But thank you for watching. That's it from me, No More Pro Player, and Vicious in the comms box, commentating and giving you the live